I'm going to tell you what 30 years of running businesses at a senior level actually taught me. Not the version I will put in a performance review, but the real version. Because the real version is the one that is useful to you. My name is Stevenson. Spent 30 years as an MD CEO. I was an army officer. I owned a bakery business and I ran K&S Corporation. I'm also at the moment a Vistage chair. That's the external version. Here is what none of that tells you. What I got wrong. For most of my career, I was playing the outside game. The targets, the strategy, the team, the results. And I was good at it. The numbers showed it, and the roles that I got showed it. What I missed, for longer than I want to admit, was the game underneath. I was making decisions from patterns I could not see, carrying costs that are not accounted for, and building a version of success that left things out I could not afford to leave out. It took me a long time to understand that the most important work was not the work everyone could see, it was the interior work, the self-knowledge, the way I was reading people and misreading them, the patterns driving my decisions that I'd stopped questioning because they had been working for so long. What I would do differently if I could go back to the early years of my career and do one thing differently. It would be a different strategy. It would not be a different strategy. It would not be a different qualification. It would be to start the interior work 20 years earlier, not instead of everything else, but alongside it. Because here is what I know now. The ceiling in any senior career is almost never about capability. It is almost always about the interior game. The patterns that show up in high pressure decisions, the blind spots that become visible to everyone, except the person who has them. The cost of performing at a high level without doing the work that makes it sustainable. Why I do this work is I left a career I was proud of to do work I believe matters more. Not because the career was not meaningful, because the work I do now helps people get to the same place I got to without paying the prices I paid. The work I do now is the work I wish I'd been able to do then, not instead of the career, but alongside it. And that is why this channel exists. That is why every video points to the same thing, the interior game, the real game. 30 years taught me a lot about strategy, about running businesses, about leading people. But the most important thing it taught me had nothing to do with any of that. The most important thing was the game most leaders are playing is not the real game. The real game is internal, and most people only discover that after they've already paid the full price. Subscribe for more on the interior game of executive leadership. If you're ready to start this work, there's a link below.